boys and girls. Are you ready for another fun science adventure with Mrs. Shahani? Today we are gonna be doing a really cool experiment called do liquid, mix or separate. That means we are going to put different liquids into water and watch what happens. Some will mix, some will stay apart, and some might even float on the top. Let me first show you something. I have a cup of water here and blue glitter because blue is my favorite color. And now let's look at this. I add some glitter. All right. And what do you think it will happen if I add this oil? Okay. Let's see. What do you see? Did the oil mix with water or did it stay apart? What about the glitter? Is it floating or did it sink? Well, the oil did not mix. It floats on the top of the water and formed a layer. The glitter didn't mix either. Instead, it's being floating and pushed to the side of the cup. Great job, guys. Do you wonder why that happened? Well, let's put on our scientist glasses and get ready to find out. You will today again make prediction, test and observe different liquids to see how they act when we pour them in a water. I'm really excited and I hope you are too. But before we begin, let's review some key science words from a previous experiment. Who remembers the word predict? Right, that's when we make smart guesses about what we think might happen. What about floats? Yes, that means something stays on the top of the water, like our glitter and the oil. Also, I asked you earlier if the oil will mix or stay separate. We saw that the oil didn't mix, it stayed on the top, creating a layer. That's a great example of the word separate. Let's learn those two new words. Mix means when two things blend together and become one. Like when we stir chocolate syrup into milk and it all turns brown. Separate means when two things don't blend and they don't stay together. They stay apart, like the oil and the water. The oil is staying on the top and it's not mixed in the water. And here's one more word. Can you say it with me? Consistency. Consistency means how something feels or moves. Is it really runny like a water or is it thick like a honey? Is it sticky like a glue or clumpy like an applesauce? Let's say those describing words together. Runny, thick, sticky, clumpy. Great job. Now the time has come and the fun can begin. But first, let me show you what we will need for our experiments. I have a clear plastic cups, a water as a base for the testing. I already poured mine. Then we will test a shampoo, a milk, a vinegar, dish soap. I have some juice, honey, food coloring, and mayo. We also need paper towels, just in case we spill. We also need our prediction cards, float, mix, stay apart. Then we need our prediction chart to record our prediction, and the same also as to record our results. And then to do that, you can either use stickers, crayons, or markers. All right, guys. Eyes and ears on me. First, let me demonstrate 2 liquid pairs for a whole class to observe. So I have here, let me put this on the side. I have here a cup of water and shampoo. What do you predict will happen when I pour it in? Will it mix, float, or stay apart? Don't forget to use your cards to make predictions and record it on the prediction sheets. Are you ready? Okay, watch. Whoa, look. It sank to the bottom and made a little bit of swirly clouds in the water. Maybe it's hard to see for you. It didn't really mix, right? That means it stayed apart because the shampoo is thick and smooth, so it doesn't blend right away. All right, let's record on our chart that the shampoo stayed apart because of its consistency, thick and smooth. Let me put it right here. Now, let's try our next liquid, milk. All right, what do you think will happen when I pour it in the milk? Will it mix or stay apart like the shampoo? Again, use your cards and don't forget to record it. All right, watch. Oh, I see it partially mixed, but it looks really cloudy. That means it mixed, but didn't stay clear. That's because the milk is runny, not thick like the shampoo. All right, let's mark our chart. Milk mixed, because of its consistency, runny and cloudy. Now, let's pause for a second and talk about what we have learned so far. We tested and observed shampoo and milk, 2 very different liquids. What did we learn from those liquid pairs? We saw that the shampoo stayed apart and made a bit of cloudy swirls, while the milk mixed but made the water look really cloudy. What does it mean when the 2 liquids, water, like the water and the milk, mixed? Right, they blended together. What does it mean when the water and shampoo stayed apart? Right, they didn't mix. What did the word we used when the glitter and the oil still stayed on the top? Right, float. So mix, separate, float. Great job, everyone. You are doing amazing science thinking. Now, I need 2 volunteers. All right, I have Sophia and Thomas. They will demonstrate 2 new liquids. We'll do vinegar and dish soap. Sophia, you will test a vinegar. All right, everyone, What do you think will happen when Sophia pour in the vinegar? All right, many of you think, including Sophia, that it will mix. So let's see. It pretty much disappeared. That's because vinegar is very runny and clear, so it mixes right away. It doesn't float or stay apart. So let's mark our chart. Vinegar mixed, consistency is runny and clear. Now, let's test a dish soap. Okay, Thomas, are you ready? Before Thomas pour it in, what's your prediction? Will it mix like a vinegar or do something different? Okay, some say it stays apart, while some say it will mix. So let's see who is right. Look, it made a swirly bubbles and started to mix slowly. That's because it's thicker than the vinegar, so it doesn't mix all at once. So let's mark our chart. Dish soap, partially mixed, consistency, thick and bubbly. All right, thank you, Sophia and Thomas. That was really fun, and the fun is not over yet. There's more to come, but you will now explore different liquids like the juice, honey, food coloring, and mayo within your small groups. Everything is set, ready to go at your station. Make sure you take turns, make the predictions, watch and describe what happens, and mark your results. Don't forget to use your science eyes and your science words. Let's come back together in 10 minutes to review what we learned. I'll be walking around if you need me, and I may ask you some question. Like, why do you think that liquid floated? Or was your prediction right? Or how would you describe this liquid? Is it runny or thick? All right, ready, set, go. 3, 2, 1, welcome back. But before we talk about our experiment today, I just want to say, I saw some really great thinking and awesome teamwork while I walked around during your small groups. You were using science words like mix, separate, and float, taking a closer look and sharing those great ideas. I'm so proud of how you are working like a real scientist. Now that we are getting close to an end of our class, I have a few quick questions for you about what we learned. Can someone raise a hand and tell me one liquid that mixed? Great. One that stayed apart? Awesome. Which one floated? Yes. And what does the word separate means? You got it, buddy. Next, I'm going to hand out a worksheet. It shouldn't take you more than about 2 minutes. Look at the pictures and circle the liquid pairs that you think will mix and put an X next to the one that stays apart. That was easy, right? Just one more quick thing before we wrap up. What do we call it when two liquids become one? Right, they mix. What do we call it when they don't mix? Separate. What if it stay on a top? Right, it floats on a top. And what did we learn about today? Right, liquids and their behavior. What a great class again, my scientists. Today we learned that the different liquids move and mix in different ways because of their consistency, like how thick or runny they are. Some liquids, like a vinegar, or juice you tested mixed really quickly, while others, like the shampoo or honey you tested, stayed apart and sank to the bottom. And let's leave it at that. Bye bye for now. Till next time.